All right, welcome to the third podcast for Middle of Nowhere Entertainment. It is the Potato Aim podcast. I am Odin's Beard, 43. You can follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all Odin's Beard 43. Definitely don't go hit those follow buttons. Also, we do have the YouTube for Middle of Nowhere Entertainment. Make sure you hit a subscribe on that. That should be no problem, and they're completely free. Come on. Really? Go ahead.
All right, everybody. I'm Raveneff. You can follow me on Twitch at Raveneff, Raveneff. Twitter and Instagram are Raveneff0_O. I really got to change those so that everything is matched all the way across, but I like to be different. Bumpy.
Hi, I'm BumpyRug. You can find me on Twitch. I stream every day except for Thursdays and Sundays. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. I'm Rug Bumpy because apparently, again, it's a hot commodity. And I never use my Twitter, so there's that. Also, a Facebook page I never check. I'm kind of lazy.
And definitely go hit those follow buttons for all three of us. We would really appreciate it. And Bumpy hit affiliate. He's getting up there in followers. I don't know what the next level for what you need for followers is.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like 300?
No, it's to get partner, you just need 7. I made everything. I just need my 75 average views, and that's going to be a hill to climb. But
well, still, give us some views. We're a fun group. We're
so lonely.
Yeah,
lonely.
We need people to love us. But today's podcast, we're going to go over some of the new consoles that are going to be coming out. We got Scarlet that did get announced at E3 to be coming out next year. We have the Google Stadia, and we are going to go over just, since there isn't a ton out on the PS5, we're going to go over a little bit on what we would like to see and what games we think would be cool for them to come out as like a debut game for the PlayStation 5. To start off, though, we did want to start off with the Xbox Scarlet, since that's one of the ones that we have the most information on, and it's probably going to be the bigger one out of the two that we have the information on. Where did you guys want to start with the Scarlet? Did we want to go over specs and stuff like that? What we already know?
Oh yeah, I think might as well kind of start with the specs and everything, what's been stated about it, what's been promised, and see if we think it'll actually live up to the hype and actually achieve the performance that they're claiming. I mean, it's Xbox. We all know that they made some promises in the past that never really panned out. So,
yeah. I know they do have I have the stuff pulled up on my phone right now. They did get a custom designed processor from AMD, which should help out a lot. They're saying the thing that stood out to me with their E3 with the Scarlet is that they first came out and they're like, this is going to be a gaming console. That's a complete 360, so there's a pun, from the 360 and the Xbox One, to where they wanted to make it more of a social media, social networking thing, and that was like the big thing when the Xbox One came out. So it needs to be, it's a gaming console. That's what we all get it for. That's what we need to get. And I think that's also going to help out and bring people back, be like, okay, they are going to listen to us. They do want us to come back, and they want us to be able to buy this to game with.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the frame rates, they're saying up to 120 frames per second and up to 8K visuals. That is nuts. I know not a lot of, like, even 4K just came out not too long ago. So to be able to see that, and I know there were a few games that we saw that during E3 that we saw, and the visuals were outstanding. I'm guessing they ran those on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came out and said that, like, Halo Infinite, for example, beforehand they said that it's going to look astonishing. It's going to be absolutely visually amazing, but be aware that it will be running on PC, not on console. And it makes sense. It's going to be a release title for the Scarlet. What makes people think that they would actually be showing it on the new consoles yet? I mean, that's just my opinion, but it wouldn't make any sense to say, yeah, this is running on the Xbox Scarlet right now when is still in production, and they still haven't even shown actual gameplay yet.
They haven't even
So
shown a box or anything, and
no.
and I know when they were saying that, they were saying that they're going to run it on PC because that's the closest they could get to the Scarlet. So they seem to think that it's going to look better than that. That's what I got from that, and that made me really excited. Like, if you can get games to look better than what they got on PC, it's going to be nuts.
There's a couple of videos out. I'll have to try to link them. A buddy of mine shared it on Facebook, and he's a big PC guy. I mean, he's like massive PC. Consoles to him are trash and everything else. So when he shared this video and he said that he was thoroughly impressed by what the Scarlet offers, I had to watch it. And the guy that is, he's I don't even know exactly who the guy is, honestly, but he kind of broke down all the specs and all the hardware and everything for it. And he said that the Scarlet right now, when it releases, is going to be better than a wide variety of high-end gaming PCs, talking $1,500 to $2,000 high-end PCs for gaming. That is going to be smoother. It's going to have better quality visuals, or at the very least, match the visuals and everything else. So it's kind of hard to say what is actually going to happen, but seeing these reports pop up from people that are actually PC guys that know the hardware that can break it down, I'm intrigued. I gotta say, unlike the Xbox One when it released, I had high hopes and then they just crushed them. But
Well, and when you look at, consoles coming into this new generation, a lot of them are pretty much close to gaming PCs. That's what we're moving towards technology-wise. And it's no secret that every E3, whenever, it doesn't matter what, game they show, it's usually run on a better engine than what we actually have. Um, they're making the game look good. They're making the game look shiny. Unfortunately, I wish they would have just shown like a glimpse of what it looked like. And I know it's a really dumb thing to say, but I want it to be visually appealing too. I don't want it to be just another box on a shelf. Like, I want it to be something to be like, "Hi, Em." I want it to be like every time you like go to turn your
That would
console
be
on.
Suicide Girl, just so you guys know.
Every time you go to turn your console on or something, it's like, fuck yeah, dude, like about to tear shit up. Because now it's just kind of like, I'm just gonna, push a button, boop boop, on my Xbox and get rolling. But I think the Scarlet is a step in the right direction. I hope, and this is gonna sound kind of dumb, but the 360 had such a long lifespan, and then the Xbox One had an okay lifespan. I hope they build a console that lasts a while before we get like the next generation of stuff. I don't know, because you know how Xbox is. It's like, hey, here's the Xbox One. Well, here's the Xbox One S 2 years later. Well, here's the Xbox X. Like, that's fine. You keep upgrading the same console, but just keep doing that. Like, they didn't have to call us on the Xbox Scarlet. It could have been the Xbox Z or some stupid shit like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though.
see that's where for me, I feel like modular consoles in the future would be beneficial to everybody. They could continue running with the same kind of architecture that they've got, just make a way for us to be able to upgrade the visuals, upgrade the memory, upgrade the RAM, whatever they can figure out to do. I feel like it might be beneficial because, like you said, the 360 had a pretty good lifespan. The Xbox One suffered quite a bit from their launch. I mean, PlayStation 4 sold more than double the copy or consoles that the Xbox One has, even with the One X and the One S. They just kind of bit themselves in the foot right away. If they find a way, or if PlayStation finds a way to make something modular, I think that would help. It would kind of give them a reason to just use the same consoles and expand it, instead of going 7, 8 years, 10, 12 years down the road, if you can still upgrade the chipsets and everything in it. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see it, but that's just something that I would love to see, because I feel like it would make it easier. I would love to just be able to hold on to my PS4, my Xbox One, take the optical drive out, put a better quality one in, or we can already do the hard drives on PlayStation 4 and everything, but if we could increase the RAM, something. I know it's getting more towards like actual PC, but I just feel like that's kind of what they'll have to get to be able to keep up, because a lot of people aren't going to want to spend $500, $600, $700 every 8 years for a new console, and that's why a lot of people are going to PC, because every few years they can spend a couple $100 on a better quality graphics card and be able to run everything at a better visuals than the consoles can. Because when the PS4 and Xbox One released, they honestly weren't even beating mid-range PCs in a lot of aspects.
Oh yeah. I before because there's a few things else, other things they announced, but have either of you heard anything about how much memory is going to be within Scarlet? Because I had
You talking about hard drive space?
yeah.
No, I haven't heard anything.
If I had to guess, terabyte. That's their go-to. Maybe a little bit more than that.
When the Xbox One came out, like my Xbox One only has 500 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That
and
was a
that
standard one. Yep.
Because I got 6-7 games downloaded. Because then all the other stuff that I can't uninstall off of it, and then I do need some apps. I like having my Twitch and my YouTube, and I have WWE Network and all my other shit on there, and Netflix. All that shit takes up time, or takes up that space, and like it needs to have a lot of space to be able to save shit on there.
I like on my Xbox One, I had the One S, and it's only got a 500 gigabyte hard drive. I've got like Gears of War, the Halo Master Chief Collection, quite a few indie games, and some smaller 360 titles that are backwards compatible. But really, I don't have that much on there, and I constantly have to delete stuff. I mean, on my PlayStation 4, I upgraded my hard drive and bought a 2 terabyte external hard drive that I opened up and shoved in there. And I still have to delete stuff all the time because games are constantly getting bigger and bigger updates. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, right now, I think the total save space on there is like 136 gigs on my PlayStation right now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, shit. When we got home last night before Bumpy and I streamed, or Bumpy streamed and I just played, I got home from your house and I had an update for Overwatch and Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to get these done. And it's just, that's going to take more and more space too.
I tell everybody, like, you need to get an external hard drive. Like, that is a godsend when it comes to consoles nowadays. And you know what? I'm willing to pay an extra $100 or however much my external costs for a little bit extra memory in my console. So if it comes out $600, $700, that's fine. I'm weak. I'm going to buy it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's something they need to look at. It's like, yeah, you can give us the coolest console ever. But if I can't put more than 2 games into my memory, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Right. And I really think, I know you said a terabyte, but with the way the games are going now, they're talking about the 4K native, 8K, possibilities. They're going to have to either really do something major with the cloud that they promised back on when the Xbox One was first coming out that we really never saw until Crackdown 3 came out, and that was really for multiplayer only that we saw anything for it, and it still didn't deliver on what they promised. They've got to do something. I mean, 2 terabyte, 2.5 terabyte hard drives minimal if they really want this big of or this quality of resolution and everything else. Because I don't see it happening right now. I mean, games on these consoles at 1080p and everything, and with the textures that they got and the content that they have already hitting over 100 gigs, what's it going to be like when they're talking even bigger worlds? I've heard rumors that games are going to have like 4 times the worlds that Fallout 4 had, and that The Witcher had, and that like Red Dead Redemption had. 4 times the size of those worlds, and just think that all that more data that's going to be in it. Same thing with Halo. Halo 5 was like 100 gigabytes, if I recall, because I downloaded it, and that almost put me over my limit for Comcast, because Comcast has the terabyte limit that you can't go over in a month. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway,
not going on that. Let's not get it.
So it's games like that, and then if you are downloading digitally, just imagine the size of those download files that they're going to be. So they have to do something. Like I don't see anything under 2 terabytes really working out, long term.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Austin. Go ahead. I'm gonna go onto a different topic, but
okay. Well, real quick, because if they don't, then and they do want to try something different with the cloud, we're gonna get more into that streaming games aspect that we talked about a little bit, and we'll talk about here in a little bit because of the Stadia. but I think that wouldn't be a terrible idea as long as they can get that latency, like no lag issues where everything is on point, which from the sound of some of the stuff that's come out, and like with the E3, the girl playing Doom on her phone with the controller, like we may be getting closer to that type of thing where we're not having to get the physical copy, getting downloads, where we just can click on a game and stream it, which I would be okay with.
I would, but going back to and we'll talk about this more when we get to the Stadia and discuss it. But again, with Comcast having that data cap monthly on their internet service, just imagine how much data you're going to chew up. You know, I mean, we can get like the unlimited data for like $100 more a month, but still, that's a ridiculous amount of money for a not great internet package as it is. So
that's why you have to go and follow us on Twitch, and then subscribe to BumpyRug, so we can pay for this, so we can bring you more gaming content. Smile.
God. And I personally, I just pre-ordered my first physical copied game for like, God, I want to say the past like year and a half, 2 years. I've got a physical copy of a game in a while because I've just gone to digital downloads. I said I never would, and again, I'm weak, like I said, and I did anyways. But one thing I kind of want to touch on with the whole 8K thing they were talking about, when they announced that, I'm like, we got 8K TVs? That's a thing right now? I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm looking it up. To get, granted, these are 65-inch TVs. To get a typical 8K quality QLED TV, you're looking at about anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. I'm not buying a brand new TV just so I can get the optimal, use out of my console, which is probably fine. I mean, even when I had the 4K hookup for my Xbox, I didn't run it in 4K. It didn't bother me. And some people are like that. They don't care about the quality as long as it's okay resolution and quality, whatever. I'm just one of those people that I'm not going to give in and run out and go buy a brand new TV to get the maximum, effect out of my console.
The thing with that, though, real quick, is it's just like when 4K came out, that the TVs were $1,800 to $2,000. Those prices dropped quickly because all the other companies start coming out with them, and the market gets flooded. Those prices will drop dramatically.
No, I'm sure they will. I just don't. Yeah. Even $2,000. My monitors and TV are fine the way they are. I don't need to go get another one for it. Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of a sleazy marketing thing for them to like sell more stuff. That's my opinion. I don't know.
All three of my TVs, the two TVs in my game room and the TV I got in my living room are all 4K. The two in my game room are both 48-inch Samsungs. They're both 4K that we got for steal from Walmart for like $130 each, on clearance, and they are absolutely phenomenal. And I am perfectly fine when the new consoles come out to just play them on 4K and actually have something true 4K because they're phenomenal enough as it is. Now, 3-4 years after the consoles come out and 8K starts to kind of grow a little bit, I'll probably put in some overtime and get a new 8K TV for my living room and just kind of see what it's going to be like if there's enough out there that will actually take advantage of it. Because right now, nothing is. Like when 4K TVs came out, nothing could really take advantage of it. So, we could go into that whole topic for, an hour show as well. So they got to do something to actually make it worthwhile. And for a lot of people, just playing their Xbox or PlayStation at 8K is not going to be enough, especially at this point in time.
What's one thing you guys don't want to see in the Scarlet? Like something you feel like they're going to put in, but that we don't really need?
Web browsers.
Yeah, that's
a good one.
That's a good one.
The only thing that I could really say would be beneficial for a web browser is if you're in a game and it has like games don't come with manuals anymore really. If they have something where it will take you
good
to
old days.
Yeah, right. If they have something where it'll take you to like a support, but it's just built into the game. If you're online, if you're on PlayStation Network or if you're on Xbox Live, it'll take you directly to that and you don't have to navigate through an entire browser. everybody's got tablets, we got phones, laptops, everything. We don't need extra stuff like that bogging down your console. You know, it's to me, it's just pointless. I think I've used my browser on my PlayStation 4 times, and that's only because I would click on something in the game that was giving me issues, and it would take me to that PlayStation website or Xbox website or wherever the game website, and I would still have to log into it just like I was on my phone. So I would back out of it. I would get on my phone or get on my laptop and bring everything up anyway. It's just pointless. There's no need for it. I mean, if you got a console, you've most likely got a smartphone or a tablet or a computer that you can get on really quick and be a hell of a lot faster than what the consoles are navigating through the web.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. The thing that I thought of right after he said web browsers was avatars. Like, what's the point of having an avatar? Let us upload a picture, whatever we want to put up there. I know, Bumpy, you have your logo up on yours. Just let us do that, and then that's it. We don't need a fucking little created guy that you click on when you see a profile. Just let us put our picture up. And it's just kind of it just seemed pointless to me, I guess, that I don't really care about it. And
See, I now back in the day when me and Suicide first got together, I loved having it on 360 because we would watch Netflix together, and you know, when you're watching a party, you would have like a little movie theater with a screen on your TV, and you could sit there and like throw popcorn at each other, put up little emotes and stuff like that. That was a fun little thing, but they don't do that anymore. I I really don't care about the avatars at all either.
You guys are adorable.
Fuck you.
he can't.
Yeah, so I really don't care as well. You know, but I would rather have those on my console than having the browser, honestly. But it's just me.
It's still it's pointless. That's the thing. That, and the other thing, and I brought it up a minute ago, was things that you cannot delete off of, like uninstall off of it. Like, there's some certain things like a web browser that I can't uninstall from my system. Like, I don't need a bunch of things on there that are just taking up space that it decided that I'm gonna have to have on my console. I don't care about some of this stuff.
One thing that I would like to see them do, and I know Sony and Microsoft are kind of coming together in a sense, have a universal party system. Have a universal party system to where it'd be like, hey, I got 2 buddies on PlayStation and I got 1 on PC. I know the PC thing's kind of muddled, but universal party. Like, it'll tell you, you know, what system they're on and all that.
What if they do, and this is something that I was thinking about because we were talking about the other day, do a Discord app.
Yes.
You know, put Discord on the consoles, and then you don't have to worry about anything else. You can have people join your Discord. You can have your Discord login, or you can have, you know, whatever you need to. Discord is such a big thing right now. If they don't have a Discord app, I think it's a huge failure on PlayStation and Xbox's part. Now, hopefully, with them combining forces on the whole cloud thing, hopefully that's something that they're going to work on doing. But
I think Xbox has a Discord app.
I've never seen a Discord app. If they do,
I think, I don't know 100%. I've never used it.
If they do, then have it for voice chat, and PlayStation have it as well, so that you can combine it.
That's and I don't know if you guys have tried it, but that's something that we could try with Skype, since that's how we record these. We can always try that. We can just try to voice Skype over our consoles and see if that works.
I'm using it on an Xbox right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, PlayStation doesn't have Skype because it's a Microsoft software.
Feels bad. Imagine, Austin.
Imagine.
But hey, you know, it's like I jumped into your guys' party one night on my phone, on Xbox Live on my phone. It was in your party chat. So I mean, there are options, but it's stupid to have to go through all that. Right now, I get it because crossplay is just really starting. But by the time the next PlayStation and Xbox Scarlet release, it needs to be mandatory, especially if games that are coming out are going to already be crossplay. Especially with other titles that I know we'll talk about here in a bit that are currently platform exclusives that are rumored to be in the works to make multiple platforms. Some big titles at that. So,
I just looked it up. It says currently from either the PC or mobile Discord app. The only functionality of this new cross-platform integration is that you can see what your friends are playing on Xbox. So that's all the Xbox One does. You can just see who's on. It's basically the Xbox app.
Right. And see that does no real good. Like
No.
it's just something to have that you can download, and they're getting money off of every download, I'm sure. So it's completely pointless.
Real quick, and we can start moving on to the next console. The other thing that I was excited about with the Xbox Scarlett, and this is kind of dumb because it's all going to come with new equipment anyway, but it's going to be backwards compatible.
Yep.
So you'll be able to play all your games, and you will be able to use a lot of the accessories that you already have from your Xbox One on the Scarlett.
That was
like, I'm gonna run this controller into the ground anyway, so I've gone through controllers, and that would be nice. Controllers that don't just fucking die after a year.
That was a big fault with the Xbox One, was not making it on launch immediately backwards compatible with your 360 games, because that was like everybody. Again, Xbox 360 had a long launch and a long life. How many people were sitting there when the one came out and was like, oh, cool, I can play the 100 of physical copy games that I have. And they're like, oh, nope, sorry, you can't. You got to wait another year before we get backwards compatibility. And then even then, it was only like, what, maybe 40 titles every couple months.
So, and you had to download the titles. You put your disc in, it downloads it. So it was really, to me, that was just stupid as well. Why couldn't they just make it to where it read it? As going on with that whole thing, that's perfect for people that already have like an Xbox One as well. Because one of the shittiest things I have to deal with when you get a new console is having to buy a second controller for the people that you do actually play couch co-op with, like Cuphead or any other game right now that has, I know it's the bane of your existence. But the fact that that's going to be possible, and it's not just backwards compatible, but they say it's going to be backwards compatible with every console back to the original Xbox,
which is nice.
Yes, that's absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to have Odin's beard over and kick his ass in some Madden 2005.
Sure.
You don't play Madden, so
I used to. You don't know me.
Nope, this is happening now. We're gonna make Bumpy play Madden, and we're gonna stream it.
Yes, absolutely.
Hail Marys all day.
Like the exact opposite of me.
We didn't really talk about what we want from the consoles either. Real quick, my big thing that I really want for the streaming platform is to have the ability to add overlays in the console.
Yes, definitely.
Go Lightstream is doing that for Xbox with the Mixer app. You can use it to where you're streaming on Mixer and you have an overlay without having to use a capture card. But let's see something with the Xbox Scarlett and the PlayStation for it, to where we don't have to go through all that extra crap. We can just set something up.
Or we can connect, because they already have it where we can connect to our Twitch. Like, Twitch is that big now. Like, they can come up with a deal to where they can do this kind of stuff a little bit better.
Absolutely.
I know you touched on it. We know we're going to get the Halo with it. What other games do you want to see?
Fable.
Yes.
I want my Fable, dude.
This will be next E3, though. That's going to be games coming out on Scarlett.
I'm hoping to see a Fable. Conker's Bad Fur Day. There's been big rumors about them revealing that, and the new Banjo-Kazooie. Those two games, if they do make those and they do end up coming out for the Scarlett at launch, I'm going to be working a hell of a lot of overtime anyway to get the system as it is. But yeah,
I was really, really surprised once they announced Banjo-Kazooie on Smash. I thought they were going to immediately follow it with, hey, here's a new game, because I can't remember, was it Dragon Quest? Dragon Quest, they announced like 5 fighters from Dragon Quest were going to be in Super Smash Bros. And then the next trailer was a new Dragon Quest game. So I thought they were just going to do it again, but well.
I want to. This doesn't have to do with this, but I do want to see what ends up coming out between Microsoft and Nintendo, since they are obviously starting to have a relationship and integrating. Yes, exactly, Brock. Integrating games between consoles, and the Switch has gotten more adult friendly. I don't even want to know, Pat.
Just real quick, I apologize, but Suicide is playing Prop Hunt in Fortnite,
That's what
and the
That's
person
on there?
yeah,
that's what we're doing tonight.
it's in creative. And the person that she's spectating is currently an apple bouncing around on the tires, and yeah,
Okay.
The old apple on the car trick.
Yeah.
But like
Hmm.
like if there was ever Nintendo games that we'd want to play on Xbox because that's what we have, like that would be pretty cool. And that's gonna be up
I
down the line a long ways, but
see. I like speaking of that. I feel like Nintendo could really capitalize if they would make a deal with both PlayStation and Xbox. Like they've already like there's rumors have been going around because with all that, I would love to get the Switch and have Banjo on the go or whatever else. Like Nintendo, yeah, I don't know.
Could you
I
imagine seeing like Master Chief debut in Super Smash Brothers?
dude,
dude,
Or like Marcus Phoenix in Super Smash Brothers? Like
I
that's
want to be able to play Pokemon on my Xbox. That's my
you know
dream.
what?
I
you
have a
get the Switch.
dream.
You
You
get
know,
the
I
Switch.
I'm
I've,
gonna
I've been playing my Switch a lot more, and I was never a big fan of like, oh, I can pull it out of the dock and I can, play it in bed or whatever on the go. I've been doing that more, just like trying it out. I absolutely love it, man. It's literally like having a full console right on your lap, just chilling in bed.
Or,
I just put it on the nightstand before I go to bed, and it's all good.
he
But
pops the bottle into his mouth and
get my graham crackers and my nap, man. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm
see,
about.
that's something that I wish Xbox and PlayStation would do a little bit better with because PlayStation had it with Remote Play. Like when I had my Sony Xperia phone, I put my DualShock 3 controller with my Sony Xperia phone and would sit there and play PlayStation games on my phone. Like just
Mhm.
kind of kick back. There was quite a bit of latency, but now that they're improving on it, I would love to see that Xbox Play Anywhere actually be legitimately Play Anywhere. If you have a Microsoft Surface tablet or a decent quality computer that could, get the signal from it that could play it anywhere or your phone, anything. Like it would just be awesome. Even if you're not going out, like you're out on town or you're riding somewhere playing it, if you're just sitting back, laying in bed playing something.
playing Resident Evil in a haunted asylum.
Let it go, man.
That
Okay,
still to me
so
was like the least that made no sense because
Realistic.
no, it's just the dumbest thing that
I
Nintendo did.
we would fucking do that though, but not the games that they popped up right afterwards. Are like, oh, here's the shitty Resident Evil games.
Yeah, I
No,
mean, let's talk about the games that are already out and already on it to show that hey, we're gonna bring the newer ones that nobody really liked. Although I did enjoy Resident
Right.
Evil 5,
I
but
like Hazard a lot.
I did too.
Yeah.
Six was terrible.
All
hey,
right, but that does bring us to that does kind of segue into the next with the streaming games and everything with the Google Stadia. And for a lot of people that don't know, you're going to be paying it's $9.99 a month, and you'll be getting a controller. And I believe there's something that you plug into the back of the TV, right, Pat?
it can play all. It's stated that it can play off of any Google device, Google Home or what Google
Chrome.
TV or yeah, Google Chrome. That's what it is.
Chromecast.
Chromecast.
Chromecast. Yeah.
Uh,
So that I mean that's kind of cool. $9.99 a month for the subscription. How much is the controller? I didn't see what all that's going to be
I have
required.
not found a price on it.
2 chickens and a goat.
We'd be lucky if that's all it was.
I have not found a price on the controller.
See, what I would love to see is if they got it to the point where you could use like any standard Bluetooth controller.
Well,
You know,
how much controllers are usually like regular brand controllers, so like Sony's PlayStation controllers and Microsoft's Xbox controllers.
50 to
They're
60 bucks.
59.90
Yeah.
roughly. So that's my idea. That's what I would think. If they
Mhm.
dropped that down even more though, if they went 35, 40 bucks for that, I think they could sell more and get more people interested in that because more people this is something new and something fresh that people
Mhm.
may be afraid of trying,
Right,
especially
and see,
with like latency issues with other games and stuff like that, with other things other companies have tried. People are going to be a little bit worried about it. So that's something that I would think about.
right. See here, and here's my thought on it too. Okay, the Google Chromecast. I just looked it up. About $60 for the Ultra. You get the second generation, like the older ones, for 25, $30. If you bought a bundle where it came with the Chromecast Ultra and a controller for say $100, or adjust prices for whatever the Chromecast Ultra is going by then, that would be a hell of a good deal to be able to get your gaming for a cheaper price, and then that $9.99 monthly fee. Because I feel like the Stadia might be something for a lot of people that aren't as hardcore gamers, like as much as we like to play, because of the data that it would use up and everything. But I think it would be perfect for kicking back, playing, or just having a good time with it. So if they do something along those lines, I could definitely see it selling quite a bit.
Real quick, I'll just go over the specs that they're saying. This is what they're stating, that it will be 4K, and they're saying 60 frames per second, and games, you'll be in your game in 5 seconds with no installation.
Right.
Like that.
Now,
it kind of sounds too good to be true. I'm gonna try it out. I'll try it out.
It's Google. I mean, look at Google's track record. They've had a lot of successes, but they've also had a lot of flops too. And I'm sorry, but I feel like this is just a gimmick console. It sounds nice, but until they actually show, it running and working and like get test run on it, like where they have like, hey, next year at E3 we're gonna have the Stadia, booth or whatever. We're gonna have it set up and you can stream and do whatever and yada yada yada. It's one of those things like I talked about the last podcast. It's like a trailer. Yeah, it looks good, but until you actually see gameplay of it, you don't know what it's going to be like.
I mean, I'm just going to say I've played, if they do it well, which they should. I mean, they've got the capabilities for the streaming. I've played PlayStation Now games with no issues whatsoever. Played online on a couple of games, a couple of shooters. And honestly, I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage at all from playing it online. Like, I was actually really comfortable with how smooth and, in sync it was. I expected there to be a lot of latency issues. I expected, to shoot, like tap R2 to shoot, and then like 2 seconds later, or even a half a second later, for the bullets to come out. But I mean, it was incredibly responsive. Everything I did, like you never would have guessed that I was streaming it if you were sitting there watching me play it. It was just that smooth, and I think Google has the power, and they have the network and services to be able to do it.
I'm literally looking at it. They're saying that it has cloud computing power that is equivalent to a console running at, this means nothing to me, 10.7 GPU teraflops. But it says right after that, which is more than the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X combined.
Yes.
Like
the One X, I believe, is at about 6 teraflops, and the PS4 Pro, I think, is at about 4. I can't quite remember the exact numbers, but I think it's somewhere close to that.
And like, this is going to be something completely new. I don't know if we can even say what we want to see out of it, other than no latency, no lag, not like that lag. We don't want that lag, pretty much.
Don't suck.
There's not
that
after that. I think launch games, a bunch of the like free to plays, they says there's going to have a full range of games, so they know. Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. One thing I know me and Bumpy were talking about is that Amazon has their own game development engine. I haven't really seen anybody out there that's actually doing anything with it. I would love to see them get a deal or do something with Stadia to where they have their own exclusives, or at least their own engine that they're developing, even if it's small indie style games on. I want to see them kind of branch out, do their own thing, and not just rely on third parties. I know we're probably coming to an age where exclusive games are going to die out, but for Amazon not really getting anything out there, I don't know of any game that's actually used the Amazon engine yet.
I would like to, you know what, I'm not sold on the Stadia, but if they did partner with Amazon, I would jump on board, just because I want to see what they could do, because they're coming into it new. I mean, they're not going to be perfect off the bat. I know that, and I know I'm very biased about this system, but I remember when they first announced it, everybody was like, well, I hope they don't want our IP, because that ain't happening. And then you just see like company after company after company is like, oh yeah, we'll throw our stuff on there, blah 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 blah.
There's been a lot of people flocking to it kind of suddenly.
I found a game list I'll just name a couple. Assassin's
Tetris.
Creed Odyssey, Borderlands 3,
Pac-Man.
Destiny 2, both the next two Dooms, ESO, Final Fantasy, Mortal Kombat 11, Rage 2, Ghost Recon Break, all the
Madden 93
games.
So that right there, Mortal Kombat 11 is probably going to be enough for me to want to get it because, I mean, $10 a month and all these games. I mean, some great games and then some that I really don't care too much about. But for $10 a month, I mean, you really can't beat it. Even for the entire year. If you're paying for that $10 a month for the entire year, you're paying the same cost as 2 brand new games throughout the year.
And it's not even just the $10 a month. Say you did the $25 a month, so you add the Stadia along with the Uplay. When that comes out with the Ubisoft, with what they were saying, how many games they announced were going to be on Uplay day one, and you'll be able to play them. You have another. You're adding more to that gaming library that you don't have to pay $60 a game. You're paying $15 a month for that, $10 for the Stadia, and
now. Did they state that you're going to have the Ubisoft deal to get those games on the Stadia, or is there going to be something where you might get a discount? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see them do a discount if you're doing the Stadia streaming. That way you're not paying the $10 and then the 15 or whatever it was, 20 that you just said.
But yeah, 59 is what they said it was going to be.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like if you could get it for $20 for the both of them for the month or something, $10 for each one. I don't know. I just feel like 15 on top of the $10 for a lot of people that might turn them off of it. But
they are saying that you can use your keyboard and mouse with the Stadia also.
That's a good selling point. I just want my Mortal Kombat VR, man. I'm gonna get blasted in the face over and over again by Sub-Zero. Like, just let me have that, man.
Never mind. I'm going to stop right there.
What? Did I say something inappropriate?
No, I was about to, but you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I know we don't know a ton about what's going on with the PlayStation 5. I know I've seen a couple things where people from Sony have been saying it's more powerful than what they announced with the Xbox Scarlet.
Seems to be a pattern.
Yeah, I know. Doctor.
I'm just going to say, like, I saw some articles that came out that it wasn't even actually, like, the ones that I read wasn't people from Sony stating it. It was some people that are out doing the play testing and doing the other testing for some of their stuff that's coming out and stating it. Same guys that are coming out saying that if Call of Duty released right now, it would be an adults-only rated game. So, I mean, I have some high expectations for it. It doesn't mean jack shit until we actually see it. But... Right. These were also the same people that stated that the Xbox Scarlet, when it comes out, was going to have the 8K max and 120 frames per second max. And then they come out at E3 and state 8K, 120 frames per second max. So...
Could you mute your phone, please?
Yeah, no. We're trying to do something here, Pat.
Maybe you guys shouldn't be texting the group chat while we're doing our podcast. How about that? How about that?
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I'm an Xbox fanboy, whatever. But I saw what was from a very reliable source, apparently, from like what the concept of what the PlayStation 5 was supposed to look like, and it looked really, really cool. As far as like getting one day one, I might not. I might wait like a month or two. Nothing against it, really, but I feel like they're gonna announce it around the same time as the Xbox Scarlet. And I'm obviously going to get one. That's why I'm hoping for this whole cross-platform thing with both consoles, because I don't want to be like, okay, well, me and Austin got the Scarlet and Peg gets the PlayStation 5, and we can't do anything together because we have two different consoles. Like it has been. Like
we just stuff together.
Come together. I mean, like come together already. It's old. It's tired. I'm tired of the whole Bloods and Crips thing. Just come together.
Yeah,
and that right there kind of brings me to one of the things I want to talk about with the PlayStation 5, with all these rumors that came out with, you know, Phil Spencer and other executives with Xbox wanting the Master Chief Collection to be ported over to PlayStation, and now they're stating that they want to get Gears of War 5 over to PlayStation as well. You know, could we see that as a joining thing with the X Cloud or whatever they were calling it, with them working together? And then are they going to trade exclusives? You know, will we see Spider-Man or God of War on Xbox or The Last of Us on Xbox? You know, so are they working with something that they're not really telling us, and kind of trying to come to that kind of mutual thing? Because we know PlayStation has been against crossplay now. It's like this whole generation, and they're being petty about it because Xbox didn't want to do it last generation with the 360 and PS3. You know, Xbox said, no, go fuck yourself. We had the better network. We don't want to do it. And then PlayStation comes out firing on all cylinders this generation. They're like, we don't need you for crossplay anymore. We're succeeding. Go fuck yourself.
That
and that's
like
that's
that being,
Austin.
that being said, they did hear the outcry with this generation more, and that just had also helped with all this brand new technology that has come out in the past 5 years. Even like that's made it a lot easier to be able to do that, for us to be able to play together. They've started to incorporate pretty much the same stuff in each of their consoles with the Xbox One X and the PS Pro. Like it's one of those things where they are reaching that point to where it's a lot more. I guess it's a lot easier to do than it was back in the 360 and PS3 days.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. Of course, it's much easier to do it now.
They need to stop doing this whole from a corporate level. Okay, we need to get one up on Sony. Okay, we need to get one up on Microsoft. How about you just listen to your fans? Because I guarantee you, listen to your fans, you're going to make way more money than whatever the hell you just want to do. Look at Call of Duty, for instance. They wanted to go into space and all like the futuristic stuff, and their sales plummeted. But the minute they went back to boots on ground, hey, look what happened. You listened to your community, and all your profits went up. Just listen to your fans. That's all you got to do. They will make you your money. Like, it's that simple.
And let's be honest, with Xbox and PlayStation, the groups that play the two games, the demographic honestly differ in so many ways as far as the types of games that they want to play. Xbox, since the 360 especially, has been geared so much more heavily towards online multiplayer. You know, some excellent campaign style games, but it's been mostly online multiplayer. Whereas PlayStation, they've always thrived on that story mode, you know, the immersive story-driven game. Yes, like The Last of Us, like God of War. So they need to stop trying to battle with each other on things that they don't do well and focus on what they succeed on. And I think that's what Xbox has finally done. And I think PlayStation will continue to do it, but I don't want to see them get too comfortable and too cocky with how well they perform this generation, come out next year whenever they release, and completely shit the bed.
I personally can agree with that too, because I strictly only use my PlayStation for story-driven games. God of War, Days Gone, Last of Us. I will only use my PlayStation for like big story-driven games. Even Grand Theft Auto, I bought it on PlayStation first just because it was a big, long story-driven game.
So we got to kind of start wrapping it up. We did want to make this. We want to aim for about 45 minutes, a little bit less than an hour usually. Not have an hour and 15, an hour and 47-minute videos.
Yeah.
Those were see my family in 4 days.
Really large, just because we had a lot to go over with E3 and talking about us. But while we do wrap it up, there was 2 questions I wanted to ask. We'll start with this one, and I already have my answer. What's one thing in PS5 within the console that you guys want to see? And the thing that I was going to say, I've played PS4 and Xbox One. I like Xbox One's platform, or like just their platform better. Just like the way everything's laid out, I like it better. I think it's easier to do. Yeah, you can go ahead and shake your head. It's
because you're used to it.
I started on PS4. I got switched to Xbox One, sold my PS4, and even when I went back to PS4, I still like Xbox One better.
It's probably because you're used to it more.
I just gotta ask, what is
way?
I liked it instantly when I switched from PS4.
All the bright colors and sparkles.
Well, yeah.
What is it that's so much easier to navigate with the Xbox when on PlayStation, literally everything is just in 2 rows? Your games are in a row on the bottom, and then your entire menu is up on top. Your friends list, your PlayStation Store, you know, your settings, everything is in a clean row. You just navigate over to it, hit it, and then it takes you to the next page.
It must. I don't. It must be more of how long it takes me to get over. I'd rather have, because I have my group set up on my Xbox, so I have a little box where it's like literally it's 4 across, and I have like 2 deep, and then I go down, and that's all my apps, and I have all my games.
Too deep.
I go down.
You do the same thing on PlayStation. You create folders. I have my games all set up by shooters, RPGs, sports, indies. It's all right there. Like it literally takes me probably 5 seconds to find what I want.
I like Xbox's better. Go ahead. What's yours?
Right,
No, he's upset. Brock, you go.
take 5. I got this. I got this, buddy.
I'm good.
I'd like to see PlayStation come out with their own version of Game Pass. I think that would be really cool, and it would make me want to play PlayStation more. Even if it's because you're seeing Game Passes left and right. Ubisoft had theirs, Xbox announced their big one. Like you see a lot of them now. I don't see why there's any reason that PlayStation would announce one, and I'm sure their next conference they probably will. I think everybody's kind of expecting it at this point, but I hope they come out with that soon.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, here's money, and we'll pay you to play older games or games that flopped. Like, that makes sense. That way people are still playing them, and you're still making money.
Right.
So, aside from the Game Pass and everything, a couple of things I would like to see, because I can't really narrow it down to one. Real backwards compatibility, and a bit more customization options. Like I will say I do like what the Xbox, how you have your pins and then it shows up the videos and stuff like that. I will say I do like that. I know. Okay. What I did like
sound like your brother-in-law.
What I did,
boy.
And then what I did like when the Xbox first came out, even though I absolutely despised the grid pattern, I hated it when the 360 moved to it. What I did like was when you were in a game and then you went back to your menu, how it had the screen for the game and it showed what was happening. So if you were in a multiplayer match, you went back to the screen, you can navigate throughout your menu for your system throughout the home screen, and then you could go back to it and see, oh shit, I'm loading into a game. Go back to it and pop right back in. Or, if you're in a loading screen for a story game like Gears or Halo or something, you would be able to see when it was loaded up and ready to go. I really love that. I know it's not going to happen with PlayStation because is super simplistic, but that's a couple things I would like to see. At least the customization options be better. I do like to customize. I do like to arrange it better, but it's as simple as you can get. It really is.
Real quick, and this could just be a yes or a no. Do either of you, because I know I don't, have your cable hooked up through your Xbox One? Because you know how they have that set up?
Mm-hmm.
That they could just take that out. We can all have an input button. Who gives
that? That's what I'm not even going to get into the whole input button thing because that got me into such a heated argument back when the Xbox first came out, when the Xbox One came out, about how stressful it was to hit the input button on your remote. I'll never forget that argument and debate that I had with somebody. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I was rolling laughing at that. But no, I've not used it once. I thought about using it recently, just because, and what the hell do I need to use it for? Really, the only reason why I thought about it recently is because my dog's got a hold of like 2 or 3 different Comcast box remotes that we've had, and they've also gotten a hold of my Xbox One controllers and destroyed multiple.
Feed your dogs.
They're just assholes. What can I say? But anyway, that's the only thing that I've really thought about using it through the Xbox 4 is because of that. Like, I had no need to. And
just so our audience knows, before the next recording, we will go over what a yes or no question is with Pat. Okay.
I can't help it. I just had to throw my reasoning in there.
Pat,
for that.
Yes or no? Okay. See, this is my thought on it.
Here's a 3-minute story.
Back in the day.
and the last question, and this will be the last thing that we can go over with the Scarlet. What games do you guys see coming out? Or give one game that you guys see coming out with the Scarlet as a launch title.
I see them doing an Assassin's Creed. You didn't see it at E3, and I think that they didn't do it just because... I mean, they do it every year. pretty much guaranteed it, like a Saw remake or fucking sequel. But it's one of those things where we know we're gonna get one. It's just a matter of when. And I think that they took a break from like releasing it now at E3 or announcing it to throw it on the next console. Because imagine,
I think that's gonna be both next gen. Yeah.
Imagine an 8K Assassin's Creed. Like they can do. It's always been visually like stunning, as as many bugs as they have had, but it always has looked good, and I think that's what they're waiting for.
Pat?
I still stand by. I would love to see Fable. They had that project in the works a while back, and then it got canned, and Lionhead Studios went under, bankrupt, whatever the hell was going on with them. So I think with all these new studios that they just recently picked up over the last couple of years, I think they may have somebody else working on it, and they're going to unveil it next year. It may not be called Fable. It may be something else, but you're going to know it's a Fable game, honestly. I don't know how the whole contract was and the whole naming rights for the Fable franchise worked with them, if Xbox owned it or if Lionhead Studios owned it, but I feel like that's something that we'll see.
Fable franchise owner Microsoft has taken UK developer Playground, which has made the Forza Motorsports racing games for Xbox and PC. So they're the ones that actually own the rights to it right now.
Wow. Well, there you go. That right there tells me
dealing with Microsoft.
That right there tells me that they should be having one for release next year. Like it's
going to look amazing if it's them.
Yes.
Wait, did I say for the Scarlet, by the way?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I was going more towards PS5.
So we already talked about Scarlet, but
Yeah, it's late. I'm tired. I'll do one for PS5 then, and I think it's obvious they have announced the game. I think they're gonna push it back and just let it come out as a launch title for PS5, and you guys have mentioned the prequel or the first one is Last of Us. I think Part 2 will come out the next gen. They'll announce something for it at their conference, I think, and that would make sense. They gave us a theatrical trailer. They might say a little bit more about it, give us another theatrical trailer, and then say this will be a launch title next year in holiday 2020. That's all they have to do, and instantly everybody would be happy with that, just because that game is so iconic and visually appealing. Like you were saying, imagine that in 8K.
Yeah, I could definitely
jump from what was it, 1080 to 4K. Like that shit was nuts. It's gonna be one of those big ones.
Mine's gonna kind of come out of left field, and Pat, you might laugh at this, but Killzone. I think you're gonna see another Killzone come out.
That's not coming out of left field because I was just looking down at my PS3 game collection. I was like, what would be awesome is another Killzone because we haven't got one since early in this cycle.
Well, yeah, I think it was actually a release with the console too, wasn't it? It was one of the first games that came out for it. So
I believe it was.
Or I'd like to see a Resistance. That'd be cool too because they haven't had one of those in a while.
A new Resistance would be phenomenal. The one that I was going to say, I would absolutely love to see a new Sly Cooper.
Oh yeah, that'd be a nostalgia trip.
Like I know we're probably not going to get it. We're more likely to get Knack 3 or 4, whatever the hell they're on now. Yeah. But Sly Cooper, I think, would be such a phenomenal title to come out with it because it's kind of that nostalgic trip, going back with the classics. I really feel like both consoles are going to be looking at those. Part of the reason why I think Scarlet will have Conker and Banjo. I think we could see Jack and Daxter or something along those lines. Yes, I could definitely see something along those lines coming out. Spyro, something.
A new one.
Ratchet and Clank is actually probably a really good one since they did have that really bad kids movie that they decided to make. And
we don't talk about that. That's up there with the Super Mario Brothers movie. You just don't talk about that.
They're sitting there like, yeah, we're gonna see if this will be interesting, and people still watch the trailer, so they knew we were still interested in it. So who knows? But that pretty much wraps it up for this episode of Potato Aim Podcast. Again, we will get this uploaded fairly soon. We might go game a bit, so it might be in the morning. So we'll get this uploaded YouTube, Middle of Nowhere Entertainment, Spotify, Middle of Nowhere Entertainment, right? Stitcher, same thing. SoundCloud, Patreon now, We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on everything. Instagram.
Yep.
Go ahead.
We're everywhere. We know where you live.
I was going to say Instagram is now up and running. Check us out, MON Entertainment, EN. Spell or no, I'm sorry. I take it back. Not for Instagram. That was already taken by something else, some random page. It was MONE podcast. All right, MONE podcast is what it is on Instagram. My apologies.
I actually might have that Instagram page, by the way. I took it when we were talking about this last year.
I'm not buying it from you.
Before we do go, I know Brock BumpyRug had a announcement he would like to make.
So I just hit over 100 followers on Twitch, and I always told myself if I got to that point, I would be doing like a giveaway because I want to start doing that more to give back to everybody who helped me get to where I was. It was a big milestone for me, and I'm really proud of my channel and everybody that's helped me along the way. These guys, Tyler Johnson, Jesse Sutton, my wife, everybody that's helped me get there. So starting when this video gets posted, all you have to do to enter into this giveaway is comment on the video, like the video, subscribe if you want to. It's free. Why not? Help us out a little bit. And what I'm going to do is next week when we're filming episode 4, I'm going to take everybody's names and I'm going to write them out, throw them in a hat, have my wife or me pull a name out. I'm going to read it on the video at the end. And then that whole week throughout the stream, I'm going to announce the winner. If I get to another milestone, like 250 followers, I'll do a gift card that's a little bit more. And the gift card is for whatever console you play. So PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Store, anything like that. I'll do a little bit more. If I if I get to 500 followers, I'll do a giveaway for like a controller or something. Also, I know it's a ways away. In October, when Modern Warfare comes out, I'm doing a 12-hour stream myself from the time the game's released, 12 hours later. And at the end of that 12-hour stream, all you have to do is go to my Twitch page during the stream at some point, comment in the comment section. I'm going to take your name down, and then I'm going to put you in a raffle at the end of the stream and give away a free copy of the game. So even if you got the game, you can give it away, whatever. I'll message you, and I'll pick whatever.
He just went underwater. You can see that.
Feels bad when the code dies, huh? But I'll let you pick whatever system you want it for, and it'll be a physical copy of the game. It won't be a download copy. So there's that to look out for. And I'm going to announce that more towards the end of October because I've talked about it enough on my own channel. So.
And that is something that I know all three of us really want to do. Like everybody that has come out and supported us with our own channels, with this, like we really do appreciate you guys. I know if we start getting me and Raven F start getting our followers, we'll be doing the same kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. We really want to get back to you guys. We really do appreciate you guys supporting us doing stupid shit like this, because this is stuff that we enjoy, and we do know that some people find it interesting and everything like that. And I have a cat coming back.
Feed my addiction, please.
I definitely have some things that I want to do in the works, and one of my biggest things to wrap everything up for me is if you go to our Patreon, if you become a member, you help us out with supporting us. It'll help go towards better streaming equipment for us, better recording equipment. Also, take a good chunk of that and put it towards giveaways. So maybe, once we get up to a certain point, maybe we'll be able to get a collector's edition of a big title that comes out, and do a big giveaway for it. And then like maybe a couple of smaller giveaways of like the single games, things like that. So it's not about lining our pockets. It's about giving back to those that watch us, those that support us, and actually be, part of the community. We're not really looking to get rich off of this whole thing. We're looking to have fun, meet some people along the way, and do some good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We just want to have some fun, and we want you guys to be able to have fun with us. So even if you don't subscribe to our YouTube, comment on it. Tell us what you guys want us to talk about. Give us questions, shit like that. We'll answer pretty much whatever. We're just dumbasses.
Free stuff.
Yeah. So with that being said, we are at the 1 hour and 4 minute mark. We're only 20 minutes over than what we planned on, so we're doing better. We're doing better. We went a half hour over last time.
We'll get there.
But this has been Middle of Nowhere Entertainment's Potato Aim Podcast. I'm Odin's Beard.
Brave enough.
BumpyRug.
Thanks, guys.
Deuces.
Bye.